going on, guys? Gino checking back in for another video, and in this video I'm going to bring you guys through my upper body workout. So in this upper body workout I started out with the overhead press. The overhead press is a great compound for building overall shoulder development and gaining mass in the entire shoulder department. Not just the front delt, but this exercise actually takes on all three heads of the shoulder, meaning the lateral head, the medial head and the anterior head. So what I like to focus on during this exercise is to stand up straight, flex my glutes, stand in a straight position and keeping my legs straight throughout the movement. So that means you're not going to jump the weight up, you're strictly going to use your triceps and your shoulders. So that is my main exercise for my delts overall. Keep in mind this is a compound movement, so hence I'm using a belt. Try to utilize good form and make sure you're making progress in this exercise because, as I said, it's a compound movement. Then we moved on to some lat pull downs, and I really love this machine. You know, it's a hammer strength, so it's plate loaded. What I like to focus on during this exercise, keep my back straight and to move the weight with my elbows and not my arms. That's a mistake that a lot of guys make. That a lot of people make, is to move the weight with their arms and to not really utilize, the function of the back. So in order to make gains in the back department, get big lats, get big traps, try to focus on keeping your elbows as a hook. Because everyone likes to get big arms, but keep the isolation movements for your arms and stick to good form on your back movements, because in the long run you get a lot better gains in your back, using your back instead of your arms, right? But the first chest exercise of the day is incline dumbbell press. I really love this exercise because it allows me to unilaterally use both my chest muscles. For those suffering from muscle imbalance, this is a great exercise to do because you use both hands independently. Which means, if you feel left side contract better than your right, or maybe the other way around, this is a great exercise because you'll use both sides of your chest. So this exercise is really good for working with muscle imbalances and getting a full stretch and full range of motion instead of the bench press, which is a fixed position. So what I do with this exercise is I stick to anywhere from 8 to 12 repetitions. Most likely I'll start off with a heavier weight and then work my way back down and do a little bit higher reps on the end. Still sticking to the same rep range though, but keeping it a little bit more controlled compared to the heavier weights that I'm using in the beginning of my sets. Right, so for the second back exercise I did, I used a mix of two exercises. I started off with the low row machine. Again, using 3 to 4 sets, anywhere from 10 to 12 repetitions, keeping it nice and controlled and not swinging the weight around. Keep the weight at a moderate amount that you can still utilize good form with, because in my opinion that's the most important thing to do. You can go around being an ego lifter and slamming the weights around, but you'll not get as much of a result as you would get with proper form and then utilizing a heavier weight over time. So keep it strict, keep it controlled. For the next back exercise, as I said, I did a mix. I did 2 sets of each. I did alternating dumbbell rows. Again, with this exercise, try to see your hands and your arms as a hook instead of bringing the weight right up. Try to do it in a little bit of a swinging motion. I don't mean swinging and jerking, but use your hands as a hook and then slowly contract your back as you go up and slowly stretching your lats out when you go down to get a better back contraction, which is ultimately the most important thing to do. Right, so let's talk about rear delts for a second. I think this exercise is the best rear delt exercise you can do overall, which is the face pull. The face pull utilizes the function of the rotator cuffs, which is also really important to keep your shoulders healthy and to make your rotator cuff stronger, which in the long run will benefit you, not fucking your shoulders up with the bench press or whatever exercise. And also this is a really great rear delt exercise because you can really overload the muscle with this exercise, because it allows you to use a little bit of a heavier weight than with a rear delt fly. And now for my favorite delt exercise is the side lateral. If you want really big, nice, round, juicy popping delts, I really suggest you do this exercise. You can do it either with cables or with dumbbells. I prefer to use cables because you get a really nice contraction, because, you know, since it's a cable you get constant tension on the muscle and you can really let it stretch out a little bit better than with a dumbbell. Try to keep your hands a little bit in front of your shoulders and, you know, still keeping your arms to the side. A quick tip for this exercise is to use your elbows as a driver for the movement instead of your arms, to really utilize the most you can get out of your medial deltoid. You know, since this is an isolation exercise, I suggest you use a little bit of a lighter weight. I only use 2 stacks of the weight on the cables, which is like really light, but I utilize a really nice contraction, and in the long run you'll get better results using that than to use your traps during the entire exercise. So yeah, utilize a little bit of a lighter weight. On this exercise I do 4 sets of 15 to up to 16 repetitions. It's a little bit higher repetitions than I'm used to doing, but I really dig the frequency and the volume during this exercise. So I'm keeping it a little bit of a higher rep range. You know, since it's a small muscle and it recovers really quickly, so I utilize a little bit of a higher rep range. So now for the fun part of the entire workout, we hit some arms. I started off with a bicep curl, alternating but keeping my hands supinated the entire time. I do this because it keeps a lot more tension on your bicep. Normally I do hammer curls after this exercise to get a little bit more brachialis action, but in this workout I decided not to because we were running a little bit short on time. So yeah, did some bicep curls, sticking to the 12 rep range, 4 sets of 12. Then immediately we went on to overhead barbell tricep extensions. I really dig this exercise instead of the dumbbell overhead extension because this exercise allows me to really get a better stretch on my triceps. And this exercise doesn't really give me any elbow pains compared to dumbbell overhead extensions. So really prefer this exercise, again sticking to around 12 to 15 reps, 4 sets, get big triceps, do this exercise. Alright, so that's the workout, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please give a thumbs up, comment down below what you liked and what you'd like to see next. Subscribe to the channel for so much more content coming really soon. I'm checking out, guys. Peace out.